Hey everybody, I just wanted to do a little bit more on the ostriches. I know that all over my social media, people are very concerned about the plight of these animals. They're so gorgeous, so healthy looking, adorable. I can't even see how the government is like, yep, you need to kill all these birds and you need to do it by February 1st. I'm recording this today. It's January 29th. But in my last video, I talked about Theresa Tam, Bonnie Henry, Donald Shepard, and all the other government hacks that plan to do this. They want to PCR test the animals. They want to come on the farms. They talked about that through and through in that leaked Zoom meeting. I feel they have orchestrated this problem. I also feel like this was about Bill C-293 and sort of and how it affects livestock in this country. That bill is a private member's bill. It was tabled by Nathaniel Erskine Smith. He's the guy that was all handsy all over Melissa Lantsman recently, that guy. And I think that even though Parliament is prorogued, that bill still stands. So I focused more on that in my last video. And although I knew about this big antibody study going on at the ostrich farm, I didn't talk about it too much, but I think it is important to bring it up. So this is an article from 2021, okay? It's an old one. BC Ostrich farm developing antibodies that could put an end to the coronavirus. So could this be another reason why the government's like, get rid of those birds, shut that down? I don't know, right? The subheadline, this is going to be a game changer. Here's the ostriches in the summer. Gorgeous. The biggest birds on the planet could be the key to ending the coronavirus, including the Delta variant, which is causing much concern. And a BC ostrich farm is on the cutting edge of making that happen. Universal Ostrich Farm in Edgewood gained public attention when the owners refused to evacuate in the face of the Michaud Creek wildfire last month. Not only did they stay, but the farm became a refuge for numerous other livestock that people dropped off as they left the area. I mean, that is amazing. The farm is that they looked after the other livestock. I mean, kudos to them. The farm is no longer in danger, and now Karen Esperson and Dave Belinsky can go back to working on saving the world from a nasty little virus. Okay, so they're working with labs. I'll link the article so you can read it yourself. But they say, working with the lab back east, we inoculated our hens with the dead COVID-19 virus. The hen produces antibodies in 2 weeks, and 2 weeks after that, she puts them in her eggs, says Esperson, adding that is one of the reasons they were so hesitant to abandon their birds. We inoculated all of our hens this summer, and they have been producing antibodies that can neutralize the COVID-19 virus. They've also been working with a Japanese doctor from Kyoto. In a report published last year by a company called Biospace, Dr. Yashiro Tsukamoto from Kyoto University said, quote, we have produced ostrich antibodies to many viruses, bacteria, and allergens, but we are pleased to see how quickly these ostriches developed immunity and placed the anti-SARS-CoV-2 antibodies in their eggs. We were even more pleased to see how capable the antibodies were in blocking the virus that causes COVID-19. Well, say no more. I don't know all the backstory. I don't know all the details. I don't know if there's money changing hands or anything like that. From the sounds of it, these people are just trying to live their lives, do something very unique by having an ostrich farm, working with these doctors, knowing that their animals can produce antibodies. Also, the fat from these animals, they're used in skincare products. They're really good at healing psoriasis and things like that. I actually have a bunch of emu oil that I use as a moisturizer. I don't know how you make emu oil, but I just know that I have a moisturizer that has emu oil in it, so I don't know all the backstory, but I thought that I would bring that to your attention. Could this be the reason why the CFIA and the feds are coming down so hard on this farm? Or were they working with the government and now the government's like, no, we don't want to use the natural way. We want to do all our lab stuff that they've got going down at UBC with making all their little lipid nanoparticles or whatever. What is going on that this farm is being targeted to this degree that they actually are now saying, kill these 400 birds?
After, say, December the 29th, please.
Yeah. So CFIA comes on the 30th at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. They come and they do 2 PCR tests. one PCR test or two PCR tests, sorry, per bird. One orally, one rectally on each bird. No tissue samples were taken at that time. They just performed the PCR tests. At that time, we asked CFIA, we said, do you mind testing some of our healthy ostrich just to make sure where if it's where it's at and make sure they're still healthy. And there was about 4 people standing there all saying, yeah, like, that's a great idea. And CFIA said, no, that's not possible. So they left the farm at that point and they drove back to the city. And by 2:00 in the afternoon the next day, we got a lab, Abbotsford lab called us that we were positive with, supposedly positive with H5N1.
Because of the PCR test.
Because of the PCR test on 2 deceased ostriches that have been laying there for 16 hours.
A PCR test is not a conclusive test of anything. We discovered that through the ridiculousness of the last 5 years. And there's still, you can find anything with a PCR test. If you cycle it high enough, you could find the plague, for goodness sakes.
So I've been learning.
So based upon a PCR test, they told you that all of your ostriches had to be culled because of H5N1. Was that how it just happened? Like immediately like that?
So right away. So that's the 31st. On the 31st, we received by email quarantine documents putting us under quarantine, that the ostrich across the road, because there's 2 sections. One across the road on Langell Road is our home residence, and one side of the public road is our ostriches.
This seems ludicrous. And when anything happens, they don't seem to treat the one animal that might be sick. They want to kill everything. Like they killed 1 million chickens in Port Coquitlam. Like they killed 20 million chickens in the US and now blame Donald Trump that the price of eggs is high. Like he's been in office for like maybe 10 days or something like that. You're blaming him and nobody talks about Biden. But I'm going off on a tangent here. One other thing I want to tell you is that there's a convoy to support what's going on up there. Save our ostriches. Convoy to Edgewood, BC. We need your help. This is on Saturday, February 1st. Help save 400 healthy ostriches from being murdered. No kidding. Meeting points in Kelowna and Vernon. And the destination is Universal Ostrich Farm in Edgewood, BC. And if this was any closer to me where I live, I would go, but I'm not going to be able to go. But I mean, there's government overreach and then there's just pure out and out cruelty. And where the hell is PETA? Where the hell are the people speaking up and to advocate for the animals? And I just hope that the farm's legal team and legal advice can advise them what to do, and so that they can stand up for their rights legally by all the right measures when these government buffoons come to force them to destroy their animals. I mean, I don't know how you live with yourself and sleep at night, but you know what? These people do. These people go on TV like Bonnie Henry, give a press conference, and then goes to bed at night like as if she has some mental disconnect from all the harm she's doing. Anyway, save the ostriches. I hope not a single bird dies from this ludicrous diktat from the government. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. I'll put links in the description. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel if you like what I'm doing, and I will catch you in the next video. Thanks.